Hey folks, welcome to Apocalypse Soon with Eddie Pepitone. I am Kevin Tinkin, and this week's episode is the best of guided meditation. I put together all my favorite guided meditations, and it's hilarious. I love it. It's one of my favorite segments, and I know you guys enjoy it. If you're loving the pod, go leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to the podcast. And if you want more of the pod, go to patreon.com/Eddie Pepitone, and you'll get some exclusive stand-up clips just from Eddie. You also get the video of the podcast the day that it comes out. And of course, you can always get the podcast video version on YouTube. Go over there and subscribe and get clips. But for now, enjoy the show. And now, guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another guided meditation. And right now, I want you all to shake off the fact that you're in debt. Just shake off the fact that you're in debt and the interest rate is 25% and you pay $450 a month and it doesn't knock down any of the debt. I want you to shake that off. Just shake it off, and I want you to shake off the fact that there are police helicopters over your neighborhood because there's a madman loose with a large Bowie knife. I want you to shake that off. Just shake it off and come into the present moment. You know the present moment. The present moment knows you. You've met the present moment on Tinder. You've met the present moment on all the dating apps, and now you want to be with the present moment. You swiped right or left, and you want to be with the present moment. So you've swiped right with the present moment, and here you are now. And now with your in-breath, I want you to breathe in just a sense of decay. A sense of decay in our major cities. Yes, they're glistening with big buildings in most cities, but we all know that the buildings are surrounded by intense poverty, intense violence, intense emotional violence. There's not enough love in those cities, in those decaying cities, and the lack of love leads to violence that will affect us all. Breathe that in. Breathe that in, and now take that in, and now with your out breath, I want you to breathe out all of the exhaust that you have breathed in the last 15 years. All of the carbon monoxide, all of the carbon dioxide, all of the methane from the factory farms, the animals that are screaming that make up your sandwiches from Quiznos and Subway, and just all of that the screaming animals and their methane, which is their waste. Just let that out. Ooh, that feels good, doesn't it? You're with the present moment, and the present moment is starting to reach its hand around you and grabbing your testicles if you're a man, and grabbing your clitoris if you're a lady, and if you're trans, it's just grabbing whatever is there. And the present moment is just having its way with you. And now I want you to breathe in the fact that you cannot have children because you can't afford them, not in this economy. I want you to breathe that in. You can't have any kids, and it's too dangerous to have kids. And now I want you to levitate. I want everybody here who's listening or watching to levitate. Now, if you have a ceiling fan that right now is on, please be careful. If you have a low ceiling, please be careful. But what I want to levitate you with is not yeast, but yeast of the soul, yeast of hope, and yeast of hopelessness. Now, I don't know if any of you have taken the cruise ship the SS Hopelessness. It's piloted by the ghosts of people who have been victims of the capitalist society we live in. The SS Hopelessness. Okay, just feel the SS Hopelessness go under you and lift you up. And now you're levitating. You're levitating. Some of you are just, even if you get off the ground just a few inches, know that you can do this. Your body doesn't weigh anything. All your problems now are just out of your body. Your problems are out of your body and they're in the car. Just imagine your problems are in your car and they're waiting for you to get in the car, and they're gonna asphyxiate you with chloroform, and then they're gonna try to strangle you after they chloroform you. But right now they're in that car with the chloroform. Okay, here we go. Problems around. Okay, and that's been another episode of Guided. If you are levitating, just stay up there. No reason to come down. Come down on your own time. This has been another Guided Meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
And now open up your third eye with Guided Meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
Ooh. Okay, everybody. Here we are. I want you to first feel the bottom of your feet being firmly on terra firma. Firmly on the earth's surface. Root yourself like a tree and not like a dead tree. We see a lot of dead trees now because of the lack of water, especially in the southwest and the west, and just dead trees from hurricanes and also tornadoes. Anyway, just don't be rooted in the earth like a dead tree. Be rooted in the earth like a strong oak tree, and not the oak trees that fall on people's cars or houses during a storm, during a vicious storm. And as you know, the storms are getting more and more powerful. The storms are getting more and more powerful. So what I want you to do now is, once you're rooted like an oak tree, a firm oak, a firm oak tree, I want you to raise your arms like leaves. And I mean a healthy leaf that you'll see in New England mostly, but not a leaf that you'll see in the West, where all of it is dying. And the dying trees mean we don't have enough air to breathe. But I believe children are planting trees. At least that's what I was told by a commercial for a seed company. So I want you to raise your arms like the branches of a tree, and not the type of branches that will come flying off and kill people. A lot of people are killed by errant branches. But we have to go some way, that's for sure. Would you rather be killed in a yoga class by a madman? Or would you rather have an errant branch just completely take you by surprise? So breathe that in. Breathe in the strong branch, the strong root. You're rooted, you're strong, you're healthy, not like an unhealthy tree, the trees that are dying all over this world now, and they are in the majority. I believe that death now outweighs life, just in general. I want you to breathe that in. That death now has a firmer grip on our consciousness than life. Death is winning. Breathe that in. Breathe the fact that death is winning in. But maybe it's not bad to face death. You know, here in America, we hide death. We don't face death. Death is taboo. Maybe we need to face death and realize the only thing about dying is fear. Because is dying really that bad? Well, my aunt would say so. She died very painfully at the hands of a gang. And I had to give a name. I had to give a name. I was going to be killed by this gang, but I had to give my aunt's name. And she was the one who got killed, not me. And now I want you to breathe out all of the death and the fear that permeates our lives. It used to be that we would make bread and talk to birds, and now we just live in death and fear and a lot of mask work. A lot of people are resorting to mask work, where they put on a mask and they go into like an In-N-Out burger and try to order food in an alien mask. And it doesn't serve anyone to order food from an In-N-Out burger in an alien mask, because it promotes fear. Your In-N-Out burger employee is barely surviving as it is. So I want you to breathe that out, the fact that a lot of people are wearing alien masks and wearing them to their In-N-Out burger retailer. And now, with your next in-breath, I want you to breathe in the way people with mephistophelia. No, that's probably not the way to Mephisto, Bobby. I want you to breathe in the devil. Breathe in Satan. Just take a deep, deep breath of Mephistopheles or Beelzebub or the great underworld god that we know as the fallen angel. Breathe in evil. Breathe in evil. We used to love to play with puppies and throw a ball with our child, and now we're breathing in Satan's lungs. Breathe in Satan's gas. Can you breathe in Satan's gas? I know you can. You're in loose-fitting clothing. Now, with your out-breath, I want you to let Satan's breath out of you and replace it with copper wire. I don't know what that means, but this is a guided meditation, and I'm just talking off the top of my head.
Brilliant improv.
Breathe in copper wire. None of it makes sense anymore. Breathe in your favorite YouTube personality. Breathe in a throw pillow with the words "abortion is free" on Mondays. Breathe in a walkie-talkie from an officer of the law, a SWAT team walkie-talkie. And now with your out-breath, I want you to let go of all the disparate objects I mentioned. Just let go of all of the trivial things I just mentioned and breathe in the light of our Lord and Savior, God. Breathe in His light and realize that the light is too hot because there's global warming. There's no more trees, even though you were rooted originally as a tree. there's no more trees left, and that increases the heat on the planet tenfold. All the particulates now are getting in your lungs and you're dying. Breathe that in. And now with your out breath, breathe out the fact that you know that roast battles with Jeff Ross and all the other comics who still think it's okay to roast people. They do that. They keep roasting. They keep saying things like, your balls look like the inside of my garage. Whatever they say, just breathe that in. Breathe in a roast battle, and with your out-breath, your final out-breath, I want you to just keel over. Just keel over and collapse. Keel over and collapse. And once you're dead, there are no more bills, no more car payments, no more insurance. You're just peacefully, finally, extinct, kaput, finished.
Thanks for joining us for Guided Meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
Namaste.
Okay, folks. Now relax your mind, set your cares aside on another guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
Hey, everybody. Okay. Here we go. We're in our sacred place now. We're no longer, stuck in traffic where you see people inside their cars crying about their finances or crying about a medical diagnosis. No, we're not in our cars where all that bad stuff happens. We're in our sacred place. And our sacred place is this guided meditation. It's inner. I don't know how many of you have any belly buttons. I do. My significant other do. Did I say dues? I'm behind on my dues. But my significant other does. So it's our inner space, like an innie. And here we go, sacred space with your first in-breath. I want you to breathe in the beauty of all that God has to offer. Just breathe in all of the beauty. And by all of the beauty, I mean the birds singing. And I'm not talking about a bird who's been injured. We all see injured birds. Birds who are suffering from the fact that man has encroached on their environment, and they search for food in places where they get hurt. And then you'll see a bird wingless and hobbling. I'm not talking about that bird. I'm talking about God's beautiful birds that haven't been injured yet, and they're flying around in their song. Have you ever heard a bird song? It is so melodious. It is so melodious. It's like when you spray cologne and that little psh sound that comes out of the cologne. That's a very nice sound. And the bird song is even better. I don't know why I used cologne push spray as an example of a beautiful sound. I think I have to look at that with my therapist. But I want you to just breathe in bird song and birds who haven't been killed yet by the encroachment of man. We keep building on animals' habitats. We keep building. Human beings keep populating and overpopulating a non-sustainable environment. I don't want your mind on that, because that is what is going to kill us all. But you don't need to be in that space now. You're in your sacred space. So breathe in birdsong, breathe in sunlight, breathe in the sound of a beautiful little babbling brook. And I'm not talking about like a babbling homeless person who's in a coffee shop threatening everybody in the coffee shop just because they have nothing to lose anymore. I'm not talking about that, where you're in a coffee shop and you're journaling and also sketching. You know, you're sketching, you're making some progress on sketching, and you're making progress with your journaling, you're getting some insights, and then a homeless man comes in to the coffee shop and starts threatening everybody, and you realize that in late stages capitalism in the United States, your life can be snuffed out at any minute, any second, because you're like, does he have a gun? Will he just kill me? I don't want you thinking about that. The babbling brook is not like a babbling, insane person who's been cast aside by a non-caring society. I'm talking about a babbling brook that's just bubbling with God's energy. Breathe all that in, and now with your first out breath, I want you to breathe out all the pain, all the detritus, all of the horror that you've seen just since 1 o'clock today. I mean, let's not try to take a big chunk. You know, just since 1 o'clock today. And if you're listening to this and it's not yet 1, well then that's since 1 in the morning. You know what I mean? Just make the time, make what I said work. If I say, anyway, just breathe out all the horror that you've seen for the last few hours. And I'm talking about just, in your dreams. I just woke up from a dream before this podcast where I was strangling a man, and he had on a hood like they put on innocent people at Guantanamo Bay. And I was strangling him, and I took the hood off, and it was me. Just let go of all of that horror, that kind of horror. Let go of the fact that your bills are obviously not going to be paid this month. Let go of that. Let go of the fact that, yes, you are going to have to perform fellatio on someone you don't find attractive. Let go of all of that and breathe it out. And then with your next in-breath, I want you to breathe in just the great immensity and abundance of love that is all around us, unless you're being held captive by a lunatic, or you're just, in a bad place. You were born with horrific family. But if you weren't, and that's a few of you, then breathe in God's abundance. And then with your last out breath, I just want you to let go of everything that is not making your life good. So let go of the fact that your primary relationship is just a bloodbath of egos. Let go of the fact that you probably won't have sex again for a few years after getting something removed from your penis. Let go of the fact that, with AI intelligence starting to get scary, that we will probably be taken over by machines and made their slaves. Let go of all of that and feel God's abundance, which is not easy to feel because of the circumstances of our society. But if you can feel it, give me a buzz.
Thanks for joining us on another guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone. And now set your cares at ease and let your mind rest easy with guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
Namaste, everybody. Namaste. Okay. I want you to roll your shoulders. And by roll, I don't mean rob, the way people get rolled in alleys, or rolled, rolled by a gang, or rolled, you know what I mean. Just roll your shoulders up and down, just up and down, and to and fro. Shake out your arms. Shake out your arms unless they're broken. A lot of people had their arms broken by the police recently, protesting the Roe v. Wade, overturned by the Supreme Court, the evangelical lunatics who run the Supreme Court. So, if your arm wasn't broken in a protest, shake it. If your arm was broken, have it looked at. Okay, and now, with your first in-breath, I want you to visualize a silver ball. A silver ball going around a roulette wheel, and you have put your child's college education money on the number 11. And that silver ball is rattling around that roulette wheel, and the roulette person yells out 25, and you have lost all the money for your child's college education, and it looks like another Pepitone will be an Instacart deliverer and not a high-powered surgeon. Breathe that in. Breathe that in. That you have no self-control, that whenever you go to a gambling place, you have no control at all, and you will even ask the roulette wheel operator if you can pawn your Zoloft just to get a bet in. Okay, breathe that in. Now, with your out-breath and your child no longer able to go to college, with your out-breath, I want you to see yourself suffocating your enemies with a small throw pillow that has 2 or 3 beautiful birds on it. So with your out-breath, I want you to be smothering, suffocating, whatever the word is you want to use, but the pillow is right on that person's face, and they are trying with their last breath, but this is your out-breath, but with their last breath they are struggling, but you overpower them. Breathe that out, you overpower them, and now the struggle has stopped, and you know that you have gotten rid of an enemy, someone who works for Ralph's or any grocery store, because they keep not taking your coupons. They say it expired, and you say, well, give me a break. And they say, no, this expired. And you say, please give me a break. All right. Now, with your next in-breath, I want you to realize that you're no goddamn good. Just realize that all of these self-help gurus, all of these monks and spiritual people who tell you that you're nothing but beauty and light, realize that they don't know you. They don't know you. You are a piece of shit. Breathe that in. You're a piece of shit. You'll take money from people. You won't pay it back. You will try to hit a golden retriever on a rainy LA night. You'll do anything to hurt. Breathe that in. And now, with your out breath, I want you to feel a hot, scorching, razor-like discomfort. With your out breath, I want you to feel a hot, scorching, razor-like discomfort, as if two squirrels fighting in a bag were in your throat because you don't take care of yourself and you drink. You drink late at night, you wake up with every part of you inflamed, and you know that an ointment to help the inflammation won't be coming out till 2055 or 2052, depending on who you listen to. I want you to breathe that terrible, terrible hot razor-like inflammation because you don't take care of yourself, because you don't value yourself, you don't honor yourself. Breathe that out. Ooh. And now with your in-breath, I want you to breathe in just the screams of one person who is lost in the woods, and it's getting cold, and they're just screaming for help, and there's no help coming. Breathe that out. Terrible screams of someone who knows they're going to die just because they thought they could lose a little weight hiking and they got lost. And now, with your final out-breath, I want you to die. I want you to just fucking die and leave me alone. Namaste.
Thank you for joining us for Guided Meditation with Eddie Pepitone. And now, take a deep breath. Ease the tension of your mind, your soul, your body on another episode of Guided Meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
Okay, everybody. Hi there. Oh, let's breathe out all the wildfire smoke, okay? It's particulate matter. Oh, hold on, folks. That's my car! No, don't block me in! Sorry, folks, I'm just looking out my window here at my studio, and an Amazon truck. You know that corporation that's destroying everything. The gig economy. Jeff Bezos is going to be our first trillionaire, but luckily you're in light. Hold on, folks. I swear to God, bud, if I gotta go out there, I've got a hunting knife and I will carve you up like a turkey, bitch. Okay. Now I want everybody, after you've breathed out the entire particulate matter that's stuck in your throats from nature burning. As we speak, there's over 450 fires burning in Quebec. And that's not good. I want everybody to just now let all of that horror out. And by horror, I mean all of the stuff out. The fact that you can't make enough money, the fact that you can't get ahead, the fact that it's a stacked deck. The rich get richer, and the more you know about it, the angrier you are. I want everybody to breathe that out. I want everybody to breathe out the fact that 12 million children in the United States go to bed hungry. That 600,000 people are on the streets homeless in America, and that sounds like an undercount to me. Speaking of undercounts, I hope you don't have underwear on. Undercounts are underpants worn by vampires who are counts. Undercounts. These are bad jokes. These are bad jokes. And I don't want you to breathe those in. I want you to breathe out all the bad jokes. Breathe out the homeless. Breathe out the 12 million children that go to bed starving. Breathe out the fact that there's so much plastic in the ocean. It is choking all the wildlife in the ocean. Breathe out the fact that the oceans are warming. And now, with your first in-breath, I want you to breathe in the fact that you're not as bad off as your neighbor who just threw himself off of his garage roof, which was only about 10 feet off the ground, yet he still killed himself. And it wasn't because he threw himself off the roof, it was because he had taken a copious amount of pills. But for good measure, he threw himself off the garage roof. Breathe it in that you're doing better than him. You're doing better than your neighbor who took pills and threw themselves off their garage roof. And then, with your next out-breath, I want you to breathe out the fact that even though you're thinking of learning how to play the piccolo as an extra source of income, you thought of that while you were high. And now you've come down to earth and you realize that the piccolo will not give you a goddamn income. Breathe it all out. Breathe it all out. A lot of times when you're high, your mind goes to the piccolo or the flute or the recorder, all those wind instruments that, quite frankly, are a bane to everybody's existence. And now, with your next out-breath or in-breath, I'm a little lost, I want you to remember where you buried that $150 in your backyard. Where did you bury it? The last $150 you have? Because the gig economy has imploded, because it's all coming down. Just think, if you clear your mind, I'm sure you'll be able to see that the $150 was buried probably next to one of your faithful pets that you had to bury alive because you couldn't afford food for them anymore. I myself had to bury my horse Lucky Stripe I had to create a large hole in my ceiling. It was messy but worth it, and Lucky Stripe hangs over my head like a mezuzah or a mistletoe.
Thanks for joining us on another guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
All right, that was a little dark.
All right, now take a deep breath, relax, let it all loose on guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
Hi, everybody. As you can see, we are in a dangerous parking lot. We're hearing noises behind us. I want you to hear noises behind you. If you can, take yourself and your light-fitting clothing with your first in-breath to a dangerous place where you live. If you have a lot of money, you probably just have to drive a few miles to get to a dangerous place. So we'll wait. But with your first in-breath, I want you to imagine that you'll never be safe again. You'll never be safe again because the planet has warmed to a tipping point. Yes, the glaciers that they thought were going to melt in 30 years are ahead of schedule by 30 years. Just breathe that in, that the natural world around you is coming to an end, which then means you will end. You will end. Breathe that in. Oh, deep, deep breath. Nowhere is safe. Physical environment collapsing. We're all part of this same system known as Gaia. Gaia. But you know what also is part of Gaia? Knives and death. Do you hear the music coming from that car? That's a death rattle. That's a death rattle. Now,
so melodic.
Now with your out breath, and I want you to hear this loud music. I want you to hear this loud music. With your out breath, I want you to breathe out little bits of blood. Just little bits of your own blood just coming out, and each bit of blood is one less hour, one less day, one less week. Let's just call it one less year you will have on this planet. You just see the blood kind of trickling down your shirt, but on the bright side, there is French toast waiting for you. So with that out breath, blood is coming out of your mouth and nostrils, sort of like a Navy SEAL in their training. And they're pussies if they can't get by blood in their lungs. But there's French toast for you, unlike a Navy SEAL. Now, after that out breath, I want, with your in-breath, I want you to breathe in the fact that even though life has become, unbearable, bills that are due still get collected because the rich want you dead. Just know that no matter what the temperature, no matter what the circumstance, Joe Biden canceling a little bit of debt, I believe it was $10,000 per person, whatever it was, it didn't even make a dent. I want you to breathe it in that the oligarchs, the ruling class, they have won and they want you dead. Corporate totalitarianism is in effect, and you're going to die probably on the streets in an environment like this if you have the video to this. Okay? Breathe that in, and now with your out breath, I want you to feel like you're starting up a car, that you're just kind of like your lungs feel like a car starting up, and you're driving, you're backing out of a horrible parking lot, and you obviously just came from this diner that's behind us. You work in the kitchen, and you didn't look good when you got in your car. That's for damn sure. And you saw a couple of guys doing a podcast, and you said, but but for the grace of God go I. Just breathe that all in. Whatever that means to you, that jumble of thoughts, that jumble of words. And now with your out breath, I just want to see your own murder at the hand of a loved one. Just your own murder at the hand of a loved one as you breathe it out. Then with the in-breath, just imagine your dad and someone is calling the cops, and they arrive at the scene, and they're joking over your dead body like they do in detective novels, and they do in detective shows. They're joking over your dead body. They're having a donut, whatever cops do, whatever detectives do. They're looking, your dead body's on the kitchen floor, and they're looking at their phones to see sports scores, to see if a certain person on Instagram liked their post of, something arty they put up.
Not enough likes.
Not enough likes. Just breathe that out. That concludes our meditation.
Thanks for joining us for another guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone. Well, that was it, folks. I hope you enjoyed the show. All guided meditation. I hope you're feeling relaxed and serene and feeling good. I know you've got loose-fitting clothing on. Until next week, go subscribe if you want to check out our patreon.com/Eddie Pepitone. And that's it. Thanks for enjoying Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside.